We gonna talk about mental health, and I don't know how we gonna start this off. How you gonna start off? Wherever we go, we could talk about what brings on mental health issues and then the solution. I guess I'll just say this. I feel like depending on the person, mental health starts differently. Yeah. Things that you experience as an adult. Your job can cause you to have mental health. So we just would like your opinion.
Number one, a lot of times it derives from their childhood.
Hey. So we got Tone on the podcast. Hey, Tone. Let's go, Tone. Let's go. We was talking about mental health.
Yeah.
We was talking about as a black male, right? Go ahead. You asked me. Oh, yeah. So we just would like your opinion and take on it.
Well, in most cases, you have situations within most people that it derives from their childhood, and how they handle it is something different. They don't realize that it comes from their childhood. They never really let go, and they carry that baggage throughout life.
Yeah. What if it didn't start in your childhood? What if your childhood was pretty decent? What type of signs?
Sometimes it can be events. That's just like if something happened to me yesterday that I will probably never forget it. And that goes to say it can be any event. It can be something that happened at a party. It can be something that happened within a family member. At any given time, you just never know. And they hold on to that baggage.
Yeah, that keep you like a lifetime of mental health issues, right?
Absolutely.
So what you think some solutions that you think people should take or consider? What could you do on your own?
Well, speaking on personal experiences, what I've done is I went over a lot of things that actually bothered me when I was a kid.
Okay.
You know, it's called self-evaluation.
Oh, okay.
So I self-evaluate. But part of the solution that I would think, or I would say, is being able to address those things and not be so quick to judge.
It's like judge yourself?
No, it's to the point where you judge others based on your experiences and not just being open-minded to what their experiences were. People tend to point the finger. That they can be right about something and make that person wrong. You know what I mean?
Take accountability.
They don't take accountability. Exactly.
You know how it is. When you're mental, you tend to not see things clearly.
Well, only because they don't choose to. See, we all have choice in this world. Choice meaning that I give you a choice. I say chocolate or vanilla. Now, you can choose to say, I want both. I like both. No, you can't have both. You have to choose chocolate or vanilla. And people don't like to choose either or. Sometimes when you go through mentally, the person that's going through it don't realize they might be the problem or whatever situation they're in, they may not know how. It's very difficult for a person who deals with mental issues sometimes to see themselves as the problem and then say, well, I choose not to, because not everyone is in their right state of mind. No, seriously, when people deal with their own mental issues, when they can't break from it, that's because they're not in transition. A lot of people need God in their life and they don't choose to embrace the fact that they need love and they want a hug sometimes. They steer from it because they never had it. They don't know how to get it. They don't want to feel like they've been exposed. A lot of people are afraid of the truth. You know, a lot of people are afraid to open up. A lot of people are afraid to be embraced or comforted. They don't know how. Some people just don't get that if they're not open-minded. This is what you've been used to all your life, so this is what you confine yourself to. What is one thing that you think is common that affects a black male's mental health? Mostly they lack attention. Everybody wants attention in some way, form, or fashion. But for men, we are supposed to be this tough and unbreakable. You know, it's the stereotype. It's the stigma that people have been stuck to for so long that we are afraid to open up because we don't want nobody to know about us. We don't want nobody to talk about us. We don't want to feel embarrassed. You know, so it's the comfort that we really need, but we don't know how to get it or even accept it sometimes. Interesting. Thanks for giving us your opinion. No, it's fine. That's great. I mean, you know, I don't mind. You can call me anytime.
Miss Shine, we're doing a podcast and we're speaking on mental health issues.
I know a lot of crazy people.
Okay, you ain't one of them. Listen, we were talking about mental health issues, right? I just had a question. From your personal opinion, where do you think mental health issues start from or come from?
Well, mental illness come from people that get high.
You said they get high? They come from people who get high, okay.
So y'all gonna put me in this?
Yeah, you already on here. Come on, let's talk about it.
So go to the people like to smoke weed and get drunk.
Why I gotta be marijuana?
I still I drink a lot.
Why I can't be the other two? Okay.
It's alcohol and medication involved. Cause a lot of mental illnesses.
You gotta be serious.
Am I being serious?
Yeah, serious. Come on.
Okay, mental illness can come from a lot of things.
Okay.
It can come from your upbringing, birth.
Yeah.
Because both my daughters got mental illness,
Yeah.
but it's two different types of mental illness. You got one with a disability, so just be born with it.
When you say mental illness, do you feel like is it something that they saw or experienced to make them feel some kind of way since you use it?
No.
Yeah.
And they got a made up story.
So what you think makes people make up stories? Their life ain't exciting enough?
I'm gonna speak on my kids. They looked at somebody else's situation and ran with it. Because they felt like I was hard on them, I didn't let them go spend the night at certain people's houses. I didn't let them do anything. They felt like I was hard on them. So since I didn't allow my kids to just get up and go and stay at other people's houses, they took it as I was abusing them. That's just like how we was brought up. We couldn't do what we wanted to do. So we felt like Dula was strict on us.
Yeah.
Which she wasn't. She ain't do nothing but teach us a lesson. And it was a lesson learned because we're around some young ladies whose families, whose parents allowed them to just do whatever they wanted to do. When you got one of them that's pregnant at 12 years old.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that my mama was strict. She was protecting us.
What
What are some
would you
solutions you
do
feel like
about
people should do if they struggling with mental health?
So the solution is you got to help yourself before anybody else can help you.
What you feel about professional help or getting help from others?
Let's just say you talking to a person that don't know that's what they struggling with. But what would you say to them?
Give them certain kind of advice. Depends on what the situation is.
Yeah.
I can give it to them on what I think that need to be done. It's on them to listen. I dealt with somebody who was trying to kill herself. Then I talked them about it. So I had to get her to understand where she was headed. I said, you got to look at what you're doing before you try to take yourself up out of here. I said, look at you first. You can't blame the people around you. You got to look at you.
Yeah.
When you look at you got to see, what am I doing?
Sometimes that's the problem with some people who are in that space where they want to do something to themselves. They think they are a problem and they would be better off if they weren't around.
I said, you got to look outside the box. We're all problem no matter how we look at it. This is our problem. They're like, you so strong because of what you went through. You need to write a book. I said, I can put it all on paper. I can get y'all to read everything I've been through. But what it's going to do for you? It's just going to make you read it. It ain't going to make you help you. It ain't going to make you understand me. Because it's still about me. It's all about how you look at it.
Well, one day you're going to have to tell your story on iicpodcast, okay?
Listen, I don't let my past hold me back.
To mental health, don't let your
Don't let
past
past
hold you back. You said something important right there.
Hold you back. Hitting the head. It's some abuse shit.
Abuse can cause mental health too.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot behind my belt that I can talk about. But I'm still standing.
I want to ask a question. Do you feel like you deal with mental health issues?
I'm a believer. I believe in myself. I believe in what's best for me and what God got for me.
Those mental health things can happen out of the blue. So today you feel better, right?
It was like nothing ever bothered me because I prayed it off of me. So I've really been at peace with myself. I just got to keep moving. I don't give a fuck what's going on out here. Because people will take you there where you would just lose it.
When it comes to black women, we feel like basically black people in general as a race, we treat each other kind of poorly. Do you feel the same way as far as black women being targeted?
We are on target. We are on bomb. Some people hate to see you shine. Some people hate to see a smile on your face. Our own family members hate to see us be the next happy person. You really have people out here downgrade you just on how you carry yourself. Listen, we target ourselves.
Have you ever thought about why we do that to each other?
They just do it.
I always think people got a reason why they do stuff. Maybe they don't. You know, maybe they don't have a reason.
Motherfuckers gonna move how they move. I said, but when it come to me, I want my peace.
The signs be there. The signs
Let's
be
be
there.
there. What's the solution? Let's talk about that. How can we overcome that?
You can cut it off, you can fix it. You can talk about it. Y'all can come to an agreement, a bond, a connection. It can be on so many levels. My solution is cut. I'm done.
Cut it off.
I don't keep trying to fix a problem that can't be fixed. This is the end of the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a done deal right here.
You know what? Thank you, Miss Shaw, for your well-needed advice and opinion.
All right.
Mental health is a very deep topic. Like we said before, we're not professionals. We want y'all to seek the professional help that's in the area. But we're going to switch the topic up real quick.
What's up? Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Now, of course, we got more shows coming up, all right? Now, mental health is extremely, extremely important. I did list some resources down below that might can help you, family, and friends if you guys are struggling with any type of mental health. It's always best to seek professional help. These are all just opinions and thoughts and experiences that we had that you hear on the show, okay? But honestly, it's all about you doing the work and don't give up on yourself. Also, one major thing that people probably don't think about is staying hydrated, all right? Must stay hydrated, all right, to keep that mental health in good mental health shape. Here's a nice insulated cup. Cold or warm beverages can be in this cup, all right? These cups are coming soon. But for now, we just gonna enjoy the show. And y'all make sure y'all like, y'all comment, and y'all subscribe. Take care of y'all mental health, y'all. Message brought to you by IIC Podcast.
I feel like African American treat each other so bad, and we treat each other worse than how we treat people that are not in our race. I was just wondering why we do that. Especially African American women are very much treated poorly all around. From the men, they get treated poorly sometimes, and then you got the women on top of it doing you poorly. And it's a lot of psychological abuse, even physical abuse African American women have to deal with. Why do you think it's like that?
I had to give an answer based off of what I was told when it came to racism. It was told to African American people that we would go against each other from a long time ago. I don't know how true that is. You know, when they talk about the Willie Lynch letters.
William Lynch was an American military officer. With a group of his neighbors in Pittsylvania County, Lynch devised a plan to serve justice. The term lynching took off, entwined with tragedy and horror as blood was spilled in the name of justice across America. It birthed a legacy that would haunt society for centuries.
The things that cause African Americans to experience racism and prejudice things, and even within our own community, I feel like it was supposed to be this stigma or this curse, so to speak.
That's a deep word.
Yeah, no, really though, like it was supposed to be something put on us of colored people that we aren't supposed to get along. You know, and so it seemed like we almost are following that to a certain extent until you realize, hey, there's no reason for me not to get along with you.
Well, it's this unspoken thing. Like, I mean, you can't
but
really put a word on it.
Answer. I just know that was told to me at some point.
Like a conditioning. None of this is like facts. This is just what we think. The wise tales that was told, right? I don't want to steer too far off topic. I will touch on this. I heard a few things. I heard the light skin, dark skin thing. I think African Americans, we do that to ourselves within our own community. I think a lot of it has to do with self-esteem, but we get a lot of media attention for the way we treat each other, and we are sometimes looked at kind of poorly because of that. And it's kind of sad for the people that do these kind of things to each other. I think it boils down to self-hatred, and I think the self-hatred comes from what we see that is negative, and maybe we don't see enough positivity with our colored people. It's not being shown like that. I feel like it's getting better as far as like our media
to be comfortable with themselves and their color and their complexions and their heritage and their culture. People are starting to become a little comfortable.
It's a big world. You know, everybody has issues. I'm from the black community.
Right.
So that's just what I'm speaking on. Media, as powerful as it is, years ago, we all know black people couldn't do certain things. Yeah. It was not too long ago where it was
I saw some of that.
It was not too long ago where African Americans couldn't use this, they couldn't use that, they couldn't go to this school. So you were already segregated, separated, and treated like less than. So now, fast forward, let's take media, let's take cameras, let's take all this stuff. Yeah. What you see on the screen back then. You didn't see a lot of black people back then. Now you might have seen one or two here and there, and then they probably had to look a certain way in order to be considered popular. You know, African Americans just wasn't commercialized as beautiful or as intelligent,
as beautiful as other,
or as important.
Well, we weren't born in them times. By our time,
but I'm just saying,
there were a lot of black families. Like, when I was growing up, there started being a lot of black families, like the Cosby Show, The Family Matters.
What's up? We're glad to see you back on the IIC podcast, and we hope you've been staying tuned. But if you haven't, don't worry. You still have a chance by just clicking that button down below for your free updates. On this episode, we went over a few things: mental health, stigma within the black community, and women rivalry. These are all opinions based on experiences, but what I need you to do is let us know how you feel about these topics. I want you to stay engaged with us, y'all. Now let's get back to the video. We talked about mental health. We talked about some of the hatred that goes on within the African American community.
We didn't finish out. I don't know if I want to say hatred, but the little combative situation between the women. But
I call it hatred, but I might be being a little too aggressive with that. Let's give an experience, okay? I got multiple experiences.
Me too.
All of them has been devastating. A lot of them has been traumatizing.
Yes.
The ones that I have came across where I have been verbally or physically abused by an African American woman and not really knowing why. My situation is a little different because I am in the community. So it puts more confusion on things. Abuse can happen in any race, but I do feel like maybe because I am from the black community, I feel like I've experienced more traumatizing situations dealing with my own race. I'll say I just haven't experienced a lot of rude or aggressive behavior from African American women within the work community, or a lot of disrespectful words, just flat out rude, and you don't really know why.
You don't know why.
In my past, I looked more feminine, very, very beautiful, pretty, you know, even though I was nice, quiet to myself, I still feel like because of what I look like, people were still jealous of me. And I have ran across women that I thought were beautiful, especially because I'm gay, but maybe they didn't think they were beautiful themselves. You know, nobody's going to tell you that they're jealous of you. Nobody's going to tell you that they envy you, but their emotions may get the best jealousy of them, and they may show you. And it took me a while to get to that point, but in the middle of all that, I ended up coming out and transitioning into the person I am today. So my struggle is a little different, but I still feel like I get that angry, nasty attitude sometimes from African American women, and I really do not like that.
Being that you grew up with females, your mom and your sisters, how did you feel in that environment? Did you feel uncomfortable?
No, I didn't.
It's a personal question, y'all. Don't worry about it.
No, I didn't feel uncomfortable with the women. You know what I'm talking about as far as how I was being treated, or?
Your environment.
I didn't feel uncomfortable with the women in my
The
environment.
experience you had outside of your household, like since we speaking on women being mean to each other.
I didn't feel like I felt anything inside my household, okay? Other than the normal childhood stuff that you go through with your siblings.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my mom never really had friction or nothing like that, which I have seen in other households where a daughter and a mom have friction. That's common. It would be jealousy, I guess. And I guess it happened with men too. I guess men and sons do it too. But I didn't grow up with my father, and like I said, I'm a special case because of my sexuality and my gender. So I've never experienced that, but I don't come from that type of home neither. I don't come from a toxic home. Once I got into the world, like to say my feet hit the pavement, meaning I went outside, I got to see that negative energy from people. You know what I'm saying? Which to me comes off as like jealousy, or it comes off as hatred, but really jealousy and like envy. I think it's just kind of sad because for one, I'm not the type of person. I'm not raised like that. I don't come from that. I don't understand that. And then from two, you know what I'm saying? I'm raised to show love. I would be considered at that time a homosexual or a person that likes women. So why would I want to compete or want to get into a physical altercation?
Yeah, get a little tricky right there.
Whether I had my sexuality figured out or not, I never really had a jealousy problem for women. I never had a envious thing going. Like I said, the women in my family, I didn't feel like that. But like I said, if it was there, I wouldn't know. I didn't recognize it. Exactly. There was some people that I came across, like, I'm not gonna say her name, as a child, and I look back on it, I'm like, she was probably jealous of me even though she was an adult and I was a child. But like I said, I was a very pretty child. It was in my family, but she wasn't super close, but she was close enough to where it's like, this lady giving me a lot of static. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking on being an adult, and what I don't like is it's just static unnecessarily. Maybe males deal with it too,
especially the type of attention that male gets, because you know men are big on egos. So especially the type of attention that male might get, he might get a lot of hate and jealousy from all over.
You might be right. And a lot of times certain men be like targets for women and for men sometimes. So
I think especially if a guy get a lot of attention from women, I think other guys could be possibly jealous of that.
I think so too, but I think a lot of times the guys don't care as much, and I think that's why they don't deal with as much. I get it, like females get along, but like, and maybe it's because I was a different type of woman. Being pretty and then also being aggressive, that don't go together to people, and then they start like not knowing how to deal with you, and then they just do too much.
Being aggressive, I was gonna say sometimes maybe the personality more so. If a person's personality is more dominant, you might get in situations
but I
because
hate
of the
it
dominance.
though.
Well, when two people are headstrong,
but I guess you could do that no matter what the gender is.
Yeah, you might bump heads. That's what we was talking about earlier about mental health. Some things have to not be taken personally because two people can be very headstrong.
That's true.
Take out dominance. Take out the dominance for a second, because I could be headstrong.
Yeah.
I'm not a real dominant person, but I can be very strong about my opinion and what I believe. I'm like drilling it in. No, this is what I believe. I'm not being like that with you because you're pretty. I'm just headstrong.
But how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know?
Well,
I don't know.
Because you gotta not take it personal. I appreciate your beauty, but I mean, what the hell I'm saying? You being a beautiful person at that time might feel like, well, she just jealous, and they're like, no, I just saying what the hell I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because I think I'm attractive too. If I think I'm beautiful too, and you think you're beautiful too, this ain't about being beautiful. I'm just trying to make a point.
Okay.
So don't take it personal.
That's why communication is the most important. Communication is the most important thing in the world.
You know
like, don't assume a person know what you're talking about.
They don't.
Don't assume just because you said it, they understand it.
They don't.
And no two people think alike. So you do have to talk.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
They be like people go to a lot of times is, oh, they're just jealous.
That's
but
true.
If you hear somebody,
that's true. Because people said that about me being jealous of them, and I be looking at them like, I know you lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not jealous of your monkey ass, but
I mean, people
that's
go
the
to
perception
it's a negative, period. And I think if you just sit back and have a conversation, you'll find out,
it's something else.
It's like a light bulb go off.
What's one of your experiences, though?
Really experienced all of that. I got a temper, but my temper is masked because how you meet me is easygoing, approachable. I take that back because I've been told that I may not come off as approachable. But once you get past that part and see me smile and realize that I am approachable, I do think that can make me a target.
Oh, of course. I be feeling like that, too, right? And then you show them, like, I ain't that...
Like,
you're not finna just keep pushing me over. I hope you know that.
But
and then they'll slow down.
I probably experienced that women thing more often. I didn't deal with colorism. By me being a darker complected woman, I'm not as dark, but I'm not fair skinned. But I grew up in a family with a lot of fair skinned people and women.
See, we about to do that personal thing again.
And I have never experienced that within my family about complexion. I got treated equal.
But when you go into the world,
when I go into the world,
and people
it was totally different. So I make a joke sometimes and say I got treated like I was was light skinned. I make a joke all the time that I might as well be light skinned.
That's a really good. No, that's a good topic with the dark skin, light skin. Let me just say this.
I didn't get it because I was raised around so many fair
and me too.
Women.
And
so
I
just was like,
and I was raised around mixtures.
I might as well be fair skinned.
I was raised around mixtures, but let me just say this: there is a stigma.
Yes.
There is a stigma on darker complexion African Americans of them being bullies to the fair skin.
And I knew nothing about that.
But it is that though.
It is that.
But
no, it's
wait,
real.
you know what's so crazy?
Thing.
Oh, it is.
That's real.
Because it happened to me before. That's how I know. I went to a party and everybody not gonna consider me black, and this is what I had to learn about the world. Everybody not gonna consider me a part of their group because of my skin color, right?
Yeah.
And some people just have issues with lighter complexion African Americans because of whatever they've been through, but it doesn't have anything to do with me because I love all colors until, of course, just like anybody, when you experience something, you start looking at things differently. I have enough wisdom, I have enough love and people around me to know that a color doesn't define a person.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you have to really get to know the person, and you have to really get to know the I would like to say, the soul of a person. You know, I have felt like I was being attacked because I wasn't a certain color. And the reason why I felt like that is because the people that were attacking me and were coming off more aggressive was darker. So it was like same day, same group of people, all dark skin. So I'm looking like something ain't adding up. It's like the bullying thing. It's the you're not black enough thing.
Oh wow.
That's what light skinned people got to deal with though.
Yeah.
I get it. Dark skinned people probably got to deal with too nice for a dark skin. You got to be mean
Too
though.
acceptable for a darker complexion.
You should be more tough.
Yeah, I'm not tough enough for my
I
complexion.
didn't know you felt like that. I didn't know you dealt with that. That is so funny because that just put more validation on this dark skin, light skin.
I might as well be fair skinned because I'm not tough enough for my complexion. No, I'm not that dark. I have a brownish,
so what about the brown skin person? What about the person that's in the middle?
Brownish.
They don't got to deal with none of this. No, I'm talking about like, let's just say in between me and you.
Okay.
My skin complexion is not even the same on my body. Like different parts of my body are darker than my face. I speak the way I speak because I come from a family who like to pronunciate words if I'm saying it right. I'm not even doing as good as they do. And they are darker than me, and some of them are lighter than me, but they like to speak their words a certain way. So I come from that type of family.
Even though I might have the typical complexion, but I wasn't black enough.
You not tough enough.
I'm not tough enough for the complexion.
I do not like that. But when they dark skin,
but I don't approach the situations. The stigma that the darker you are, the more aggressive, the more dominant, the more.
But you come off. But really, that's what I love about you. When you are from a certain area, you are sometimes more aggressive because I think a lot of that comes from the area that you come from. Maybe whatever you've been through, you might just happen to be dark skinned. It's not, oh, I'm dark skinned, I'm tough.
DNA is what makes the colors.
Yeah, and it's different reasons why you may be an aggressive individual. It's not really your color, but it is a stigma on it, and it is something that should be talked about more. It is sad. I hate to talk about this, but it's like the whole Drake thing. Drake is in the middle when it comes to his complexion and race. But when it comes to it falling down, the beef is like the first thing they want to go to is you can't fit. You don't fit you can't fit with us. That's what they do. Like it's like the whole you're not dark enough.
But what if
that's what they
are my complexion?
What?
I'm gonna make a statement.
You're not dark enough.
I'm not that dark, but even the complexion that I am, I don't fit the description of the dark enough. For some reason.
So you still feel left out. You still feel left out.
Heck yeah. I got teased. So I said I might as well be light skinned.
Because you got teased.
I got.
Let me ask you this: did you get teased a lot by darker complexion people?
Yes.
Both. So you got it bad.
Yes.
I got treated poorly by
darker. Yes.
Both, but mostly darker.
My complexion and everything.
I'm talking about grown though. Like grown. Like I'm grown. You grown. Why are you bullying me? Because I'm light skinned type.
Listen.
Like
I got
what's
bullied
going on?
by my exact complexion.
Like you too old.
They wasn't darker. They was the exact. I'm talking about mental health. I still feel some type of way. She treated me like bad, and we were the same color. She might have been a tint.
Well, it'd be different reasons. It's just like you in a room full of people that's orange, but you yellow. You know you gonna get picked on because you yellow. That's anywhere you go. You in a room full of tall people.
Yellow. Because I feel like I might not have been visually yellow, but I felt yellow.
Maybe that's why. We about to switch it up a little bit. This is a real bad one. Size, like being short. Being short. People don't realize. People be bullying you when you're short. Yeah. They run you over
too.
Yeah,
I'm not as little as I used to be.
Yeah, like just imagine if you were tall. A lot of that wouldn't happen.
You get teased as tall.
You get teased, but they're not gonna try you. Even though you might can't fight or you might not be the toughest, but people still are hesitant to try a person that's bigger than them.
You feel like you got tried because you were short.
Absolutely. I know I did.
Girl, that don't count.
I know I did.
When you was a boy. When you are a boy, when you short. That don't count for a girl.
Some people think I'm a boy.
No, but before.
Yeah, because it's tall girl. It's tall girls.
Oh, girls. It's tall girl. That's true. I had that experience.
Big tall girls are very immature sometimes.
Yeah.
I think they have an issue for one because they're bigger than other girls. I think they kind of upset that they're bigger than other girls because most women I've heard they don't really want to be tall. Some big tall women will bully you. If you haven't came across that, don't be surprised if you come across a big tall woman and she bully you. Do not
because you look smaller than
because
her?
you're smaller and she feel like you can't fight her.
I just feel like it because like why are you standing over me?
I feel like that too, but sometimes I'd be like,
why are you standing over me like that?
Man,
that's disrespectful.
You have your tits on my forehead. Okay.
Your stomach on my forehead.
Your stomach is on my eye. Could you back up just a little bit? All right, I'm small, but I tell a person like I'm short. I tell people I'm short. I don't have a problem with that. Be like, yeah, you see I'm short, so why do I have to tell you that? But I still tell you anyway because you seem not to realize that I am small. You're big.
You about 5'2".
If anything happens here, 5. I had to defend myself because I'm a mini me.
Short crew around.
I'm real big on communication, but I
experienced that with tall women. Yes.
Yeah, I do hate. I call it spatial bullying.
I said don't take things personal, but tall women, I take that personal because I think y'all be doing it on purpose.
They do because they know.
To all y'all 5'5" and up, y'all do that on purpose. 5'6" and up, y'all do that on purpose.
You don't gotta do that. Like
yes,
short people so cool, bro. Like we don't
out of the 5'4" bracket.
Short people cool, man. We realize we're smaller than others. We move accordingly.
They say short men got the short complex.
Okay,
I don't think short women got the complex.
Short women don't have a complex because short women are more accepted. That's why I say I think tall women bully too because
short men,
it's not as accepted. So they be bullying. I think in some situations a man can have that short man complex. Men are so egotistical sometimes they do not care. I think a lot of men do not care because they so into
short men do the most because
if they have a little, I think that they have a problem.
No,
because men like to be all about that.
Men are excited, more excited than tall men. Just think about all the short men you know. Don't you think
men are all about their
height?
Men are all about their, you know what? Stay short. Let's stay a midget. That's different because a midget you super short. But I feel like short man, if they have a nice size, you know what? I feel like they don't care that they're short and they don't have the little man complex because they feel like they big because they got a big thing. I think that's how simple-minded dudes can be. Like, yeah, I'm short, but look at my.
Other guys
you know what I'm saying?
That you have that.
They don't care. They don't. They know. They gonna wear them tight
but
pants.
Don't you think they do the maybe they do the
you
most?
Think that?
Well, think about all the short men that are celebrities.
With a short man.
Look at Alan.
Who? Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart don't care. We got a lot of short men that you.
But
see
do you think they have a?
I feel like they do extra in personality.
What's the short man complex?
Short man complex is supposed to be you feel like
you do too much. You overcompensate
yourself. If you're funny, you got to be extra funny. If you're athletic, you got to be you got to put a spin on everything you do because you're compensating for not being a certain height.
So I'm short. I'm trans. I'm not a man, right? Okay. I haven't been walking in these shoes that long. So from my experience, I wouldn't say short man complex. I would say maybe a little insecurity because you are smaller than others.
I'm not saying you're insecure. I'm just saying I feel like you might feel like you have to prove yourself, making up for the big man hype thing. Because don't nobody know what I feel like down there.
This is what I feel like personally. This is what I feel like personally as somebody that's in the community. I feel like it's personal for me as far as my goals. I want to lift. I want to be strong. I want to be.
I don't think it's
masculine, sexy.
For you though, because you wasn't. But
as far as a man, okay, maybe I'm not paying attention. I think that's really a real stigma, bro.
I think that's not real. You think it's made up?
I don't think men care. I think they care more about what's in the pants. Honestly, if they have a small thing, I think they're going to do the most.
That man is not showing all of that to the pants. So say you on the basketball team. They know they got a small thing. Think about that short guy on the basketball team, like Allen Iverson.
I've been around short men.
Short men on the basketball team.
Listen,
you're considerably supposed to be tall, right? So don't you think you might gotta?
If that man got bullied,
do a spin and a extra hop because you.
Well, he might gotta do that because he might gotta do it because he's not as tall because he's going to get somebody taller than him. That's different because if a person is taller than you going against them, you gotta do it. But if you just in a room, if you come in a room and you're a short man. And every other man taller
than you. Typically, they will be.
They will be
taller. So you don't think short man complex is real? Because people say that when short guys act a certain way, they be like, "Oh, he got a short man problem." For instance, my dad is short. Rest in heaven. If my dad,
he might have got bullied too, though, because he was short. That's different though, because he got bullied.
Because all the other men are taller. So they like, here go this.
I feel like if he got bullied, I feel like if a person got bullied, well, he got bullied because he was short.
Most men will get bullied for being short,
especially as a kid. Yeah, I believe they will. But he might be more emotional because of that, because of the bullying that happened to him.
So
that might be what it is.
Complex, right?
No, because when you say complex,
in a room for the tall people,
maybe
other tall guys. That's maybe. What I'm saying.
I think it's real if you got bullied. If you got bullied, now you got to prove yourself because now you on edge because you got bullied.
That's anybody that get bullied though. That's like anybody. If you ever been bullied, you think somebody about to test you. What you about to do? You about to be on edge because you got bullied. So now you're doing the what? The most.
Yeah.
So that's what they probably saying the short complex is, but it's really the person probably got bullied.
Yeah, you trying to
because he was short.
Just because I'm
now he on edge. Like, bitch, I'm gonna fight you. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm short.
Because I'm the same way, male or female. I've been through a lot of stuff with people that was bigger than me. So now it's like, okay, I'm typically the smallest one in the room. Now it's on. You might look at me and be like, you got the short man count. That's cool. But just believe this. I've been through a lot. I'm ready to go now. You know what I'm saying?
Like my niece in particular.
She's so small.
She's like a 28-year-old, 28-year-old woman, but she's like the size of a 10-year-old.
Anti-bullying. I really hate
I believe she probably
bullies.
went through a lot.
I hate bullies.
Being that small all her life.
Yes. When you are the smallest person in the room, you're a target. It just is what it is. When people catch an attitude, they're not going to.
Kid. Like, no, I'm 30.
Disrespectful. And when they catch an attitude, they're not going to go for the big person. They might. Don't get me wrong. People are crazy. Because it's all about the mind. You can bully a big person. That short person is bullying too.
Yeah. Because
don't sleep on the short people though. Because the short people be bullying the big people sometimes.
We had to rewind that because there's some short people that do.
There's some short savages.
Yeah.
That little what's them chihuahuas? I had a dog run up on me that was ankle high. And I had to get real gangster with that dog because that dog was going to attack. And that dog did not care. And to get real aggressive, like, back up. Like, I had to really show the dog, like I'm bigger than you.
Right.
You know?
Because they don't think so. They didn't think so.
I've seen some small things attack. So
he was like, I'm big dog, you're the little one.
It's all about
to be honest, short people can be a little extra.
Yeah. And I think they quicker to fight because they're short.
That's the complex that we were talking about.
They quicker to fight you because they know, like they're going to take it way more seriously.
Yeah, I got to.
Like, I got to do it. Like,
I'm sorry, but this is what it is.
It got to be done. You're too big. You're just too big. I gotta take it to the extreme.
I don't know how we got on that, but
I gotta survive.
You know that's important.
I'm anti-bullying for sure. If you are being bullied, seek help. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared to speak up because bullying is real serious. Real stuff. And a lot of traumatizing situations happen because of bullying.
Go to the school.
In schools, cyberbullying. If you are bullied, please seek help because you need help probably more.
It still goes on in school. I had a situation with my daughter that I had to go to the dean. I had to go to the principal just to make sure things are cleared up. You can't keep changing schools, changing environments. Sometimes you have to deal with those issues head on. You can without any consequences that's going to leave you in a certain situation. Try to work through it. Go to the school. Go to the principal. Go to the dean, go to the teacher, do something actively to control bullying and dumb me down. Zero tolerance for bullying.
As you get older, you learn that it's a reason why a person is bullying. It's typically something going on with them. Help. Like a lot of times when you see those mass situations, I don't really want to say, but and you be like, oh, that person crazy, or why would that person? 9 out of 10, somebody did something to them. Like it might not have been super extreme,
to the drawing board. Check yourself.
And don't be playing with people, y'all. Treat people right. Treat people right.
Because you want to be treated right. That's a very simple concept that I learned as a kid. Do unto others as you want them to do to you. Do people the way you want to be done. That's a very simple concept. It don't cost nothing
to be nice.
You don't want to be bullied, don't bully nobody else. That's just very simple to follow. Yeah.
Think about your family. Would you want your child to be bullied? Would you want your mom to be bullied?
Yes.
Your dad, your sick family member that might have to be in a nursing home, your small child maybe. Even if your child big, you don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They could be getting bullied. Think about other people around you that you love. Because maybe you can't see it for yourself. Some people don't want to be saints. You know what I'm saying? They want to be sinners. You know? Think about your family. You won't want that. If you're not around, people be like, oh, I would do this. But you might not be around all the time. You won't want that to happen to your family or your loved ones. So why treat somebody else like that? And somebody love that person. Just because you don't or you think they not important. Somebody care about them.
Somebody want them to be okay just like you want to be okay. There's somebody in your family that wants you to be okay. For real, that's real talk. That's real talk. Do you. Try to be the best version of you. And then you'll know how to treat other people. Being the best version of you.
Treat yourself right. Because sometimes you bully yourself.
Yeah. No, for real.
And you treat yourself bad. That's why you treat others bad. Because you probably not treating yourself good.
Because I can be very critical about me.
Yeah. And you can be your own worst enemy. I do it to myself too. I bully myself. I be having to tell myself like, chill on yourself. Sit down, relax. You know, don't be so tough.
Give yourself some grace. It's okay. It's okay.
Seriously.
We made it. If you're watching this, we made it. And if you're watching this podcast, you got something in your brain that's sticking good enough.
Exactly. So, and y'all stick with us.
Yeah.
I see.
That's a good
subscribe.
Play yourself. Self-love is the best love.
Self-love is the best love.
Is the best care.
That's the point of this episode. Yeah. Self-care is the best care. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your family. We ain't got no slogan yet, but we gonna get one. Yeah. And we out.
All right.
Peace.
Let's go.
I had a few experience with domestic violence. Domestic violence can come from a man or a woman. I can't really give a reason as to why domestic violence happened.
I did not realize I was in a domestic violence situation because I had no experience with it personally. I've seen other women go through it.
What's up, y'all? It's Cameron.
Gorgeous.
And what we need y'all to do is subscribe so y'all can get the latest and greatest updates on our show.
Like, subscribe, share.
And whatever y'all want to talk about, y'all can leave it down below in the comments.
Like, subscribe, and share down below. Let's go.